Talking Wyoming Seminary girls lacrosse here on the John Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre. And Katie Kersey is with us, the head coach. And let's talk a little bit about this year's team, 2018. What's it been like so far?
It's been a fun experience. We've had to adjust the way we played a bit. We lost some pretty big players in our graduating class last year, but we've had a wonderful senior class who has stepped up. They're tremendous leaders, and they've really created this amazing team-first environment, which has been fun to be a part of.
Let's talk number-wise. We see lacrosse kind of spreading out across northeastern Pennsylvania, so a lot of teams are filling in. How are we doing at SEM as far as numbers?
We're doing very well. We have about 45 girls on our roster, a huge JV roster. I would say we have about 15 girls who are just learning to play or have only had a year of experience. So it's exciting to see what the future will hold.
We talk about the getting out there in the Wyoming Valley Conference and teams you're facing, and some of these programs are kind of upstarts, but it's been pretty steady there at SEM. Talk about the girls getting into the program, getting their feet wet, and even starting even younger now, and what you're seeing as the results on the field.
So certainly for us, our lower school is a very, very healthy and successful program, and I think that helps. You know, we have fifth graders. I think it starts in fifth grade. They're already out learning how to play, so by the time they get to us, they've had 3 to 4 years of experience under their belts, and that's really helped for us. And then certainly all of the youth programs in our area are building the sport, you know, so between Mountaintop, Back Mountain, and then up in the Scranton area. So I think it's just going to continue to grow.
Let's talk on the offensive end this year, where some of the girls able to assist or score some goals for you.
Yep. So we have, we've really, I would say probably every game we have anywhere from 4 to 6 girls scoring for us. So our midfield is probably our strongest in terms of just being able to play both ends of the ball. So girls like Nicole Jolane, who was out last year because of a concussion, she's made a huge impact. Christina Kilianic, senior Emily Sims, and then both the Parsons and a few other girls are contributing. So we're sharing the ball well.
How about over on the defensive side? What do we have there?
So our defense is anchored by Mia Rainieri, who's a junior goalie, and she's really, really grown in that position, as well as, again, some of the seniors you'll see today, Julia Gabriel and Cam Litchens and Caitlin Metz. So it's been nice to see it all come together.
The buzz is that, you know, there's a lot of opportunities for girls in lacrosse at the next level. I think in our area we're still somewhat fresh on trying to get girls to go to that next level. What are you seeing at Wyoming Seminary as far as girls who want to maybe further on their career and possibly have a career with lacrosse in college along with the academic end?
So we have some girls who are playing right now. We have a sophomore at Lafayette, and we have a sophomore who's the starting goalie at Moravian, and they both had good seasons, and Emily Sims is going on to play at Kings, Julia Gabriel is going on to play at LBC, and so is Caitlin Metz. So we're beginning to see girls play. It's mostly at the Division III level, but for our athletes, that's a perfect spot because there's also great academic opportunities. So they're finding that good balance, which is really important for them.
Have you seen much of a change in the women's game with lacrosse over the years? You know, they say there's some trends or different things, and they're looking for, you know, maybe a little more physicality while still holding the tradition of lacrosse on the ladies' side.
So I think that certainly the college level has changed far more than high school. So if you watch a college level game, it's much more physical. For the women's game, there's now a shot clock. There's free starts, things like that that have not come down to the high school level. But it certainly is still a physical game where women's lacrosse at least is trying to figure out is to keep it safe and keep the pure nature of the game while also respecting the realities of athletes who are getting faster and stronger, and female athletics is just it's a different beast now than it was certainly when I was in college. So they're trying to find that balance to keep it safe, no helmets, no things like that, while at the same time you have girls who are they're more physically fit than they ever have been before.
Katie, great to catch up with you as always. Continued success with the 5-0 start in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Emily Sims with us from Wyoming Seminary. We're talking about the lacrosse program, and Emily, let's talk about you as a senior. What's your role on the team?
So all the seniors on the team are captains this year, since there's about 6 or 7 of us. So Mrs. Kersey just elected us as the captains, or sort of like a leader squad together. I really like being sort of a captain. We alternate who goes up and like speaks to the ref every game. It's really fun. I love leading my team. I love being someone that my team can look up to, and it's just really fun.
Big numbers, nice squad. Talk about trying to help some of those younger players, and you and the seniors taking that upon yourself as other seniors maybe have done to the other players over the years.
Mm-hmm. So we schedule our practices with Mrs. Kersey. We try and split the teams up when we can. We have a lot of younger players this year, so they're looking to just step up, and they're really good with rising up to the challenge, and we like to help them whenever we can. So if we're doing a drill with them, we'll just like place ourselves either in with them, either passing with them, or like stationed around them, so we can just give them little tips of advice whenever they can. So it's like less pressure instead of Mrs. Kersey coming up to them, and not that Mrs. Kersey is scary at all, but it's just like, I guess, more relaxing when one of your teammates says like, hey, maybe you like shift your hand down on your stick, and then they'll like take it to heart.
Let's talk about field hockey, another sport you do at SEM. How much you enjoy that?
I like field hockey a lot. Mm-hmm.
As far as your team, another successful season there, but the next level for you will be lacrosse, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us about where you're going and why.
So yeah, I'm committed to King's College. I do play field hockey and lacrosse, but I decided just to continue my lacrosse career there. I do love field hockey, but I just love lacrosse so much more. I've played it for longer. I played it since 5th grade. And I really like the coach, Ashley Stevens. She's so nice, and as soon as I stepped on campus, I fell in love with the team, and I just can't wait to go there next year.
English, one of your favorite subjects. Mm-hmm. You're doing great in the classroom, a 4.28. Talk about your commitment as a student at SEM.
So I really do take my schoolwork seriously. I'm sort of a borderline perfectionist. I really don't like losing in or out of the classroom, so I hate losing on the field, and I hate losing in the classroom with a bad grade. So I always strive to get my good grades, and even though it's hard, especially with SEM and the classes I take there, but it's really worth it just to see the end result.
Let's talk about your role models in your life, who you look up to and why.
So one of my role models is obviously my mom. That might sound like a basic answer, but I really do look up to my mom. She's just always there for me, and she always gives me such good advice, and I just always know if I ever have an issue, I can go to her, and she just sets such a good example for me with everything.
I love playing Lake Lehman. They've been pretty good. Your team's been pretty good. What are you expecting when that matchup comes around?
So even though we've lost a few key players this year, I know Lake Lehman has too, but I mean, they're still a really strong team, and so are we. So I obviously am expecting it to be a really good matchup yet again, and I hope that we can face them maybe in the district championship again, and hopefully come out on top.
All right, Emily, great to hear your story. We wish you the best at King's College.
Thank you.
Caitlin Metz joining us here on the John Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre as we talk Wyoming Seminary lacrosse. And Caitlin, let's talk a little bit about how long you've been playing lacrosse and what you enjoy about it.
So I've been playing lacrosse since around 5th grade at the lower school. And I just always enjoyed playing. At first I didn't want to play when I first started, but then all my friends were having so much fun, so I joined and loved it and stuck with it.
You play defense, tough position. Talk about what a defender's role is in girls lacrosse.
Yeah, so the defender, they really have to control the whole field basically, because if you don't have a good defense, you don't have a good team. So it's hard we have to really communicate and control coming down the field.
How about some of the cans and can'ts you could do while you're out there on the field? All us parents are over there watching. So when you're kind of defending, you can kind of get a stick near them, but is there a certain side you can put it on? So take us through just some basics on the defender side.
So you can put your stick on them, but you have to have your position out already. You can't push. And it really depends on what side the girl is cradling on, because you can push her to the right side or left side depending on which way she's cradling, and you want to push her out of the 8.
All right, that's a great little tip for us. Let's talk about your family. You have Ashley and Jeffrey, a couple younger siblings. What are they all about?
My sister plays the piano, and she plays field hockey and lacrosse. I think she's going to continue lacrosse at the high school level. And my brother is a very good ice hockey player. Been playing since he's about 2, so.
A lot of traveling there, huh?
Yep.
You come from a hard-working family, so obviously you're putting in the work, whether it's in the academic end or at the athletic end. Talk about those qualities you take from your family.
My family is very hardworking. My dad runs a business, so I know he has a lot of dedication, and I really think I take dedication away from my work and athletics, no matter what it is.
Great grade point average at SEM. You like science as one of those classes. Talk about what you're going to go to at college and where you're going as well.
I'm going to Lebanon Valley College to play lacrosse, but I'm also majoring in biology because I want to be a vet when I'm older. So, yeah.
So veterinarian down the road. Let's talk about your mom and looking up to her and some different qualities she has as a role model.
Yeah, so I always look up to my mom. She's very hardworking, determined, mother of 3. I just always looked up to her my whole life. She grew up with like a harder life, so for her to like come through, and I just always look up to her.
Another one enjoys playing Lake Lehman. What is it about the Lady Black Knights that you like to do?
It's just good competition, and they put up a fight, and it's fun to play them.
All right, Caitlin, well, you have a great season. Good luck at Lebanon Valley, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Julia Gabriel is with us from Wyoming Seminary as we talk about lacrosse. She is a senior. She plays midfield. And Julia, welcome in here today. Let's talk a little bit about your position out there. Who are some players around you that are hopefully making you better, and I'm sure vice versa?
So I'm the D wing, which is the defensive midfielder, and our center is usually Barry Lefkowitz, and our attack wings switch between Paige Parsons and Nicole Joan Lane. And so we have a really good chemistry going because we've been playing these positions for the entire year so far. And so we just hustle, and we know we could rely on one another in the midfield, and so we use each other to transition, and we just have a really good chemistry, which is like really important on the field.
What are some good qualities it takes to be an effective lacrosse player for yourself, whether it's speed, working on stick skills, all those different things?
Yeah, well, of course, speed really helps, and stick skills. You just want to have to be motivated and have the drive to get better because you need to give 110% all of the time. So that's really important.
You also play soccer and basketball, so 3 sports.
Yeah.
And your grade point average is off the charts, like a 4.5 or something. Talk a little bit about your dedication to be such an excellent student and be a very good student athlete as well.
Budgeting your time is really important. So we have study halls throughout the day, so I make sure I get my work done so then I could focus on my sports after school. And of course, at SEM, we make sure that our sports are second to our academic career. So every coach understands if you have to study for a test or if you need a conference. So it's really important to have that good balance.
You got a couple siblings that are a little older, so I'm sure they taught you some stuff. Emily and Hannah, tell us what they're up to.
So Hannah just graduated college last year, and she's working at a film production, and I really look up to her because she's very smart, and so I look up to my sisters in 2 different ways. So Hannah is the academic weapon, and Emily is in college for biomedical engineering rowing, and so I look up to her for the athletic, and she's very outgoing. So.
Well, two impressive sisters, that's for sure. For you, academics, you're going to go to Lebanon Valley. Tell us about what you're going to do there.
So I'm going in undecided, but I'm thinking maybe going towards psychology. And so I just really fell in love with the campus because I can't fall in love with a program per se. But I'm going there with my friend Caitlin Metz to play lacrosse too.
Well, I'm sure you guys will, you and Caitlin will have a great bond. There's a lot of work to be done in the season. Right now you're 5-0 in the Wyoming Valley Conference. You'd like to kind of continue that run and then get into districts and do some damage there and then possibly states. Does this team have what it takes this year?
Definitely. We lost a few key players last year, but we've grown so much since then, and everyone on the team has stepped up to replace those losses, and we work hard day in and day out under our coaches, and we motivate each other because we want to be in the district playoffs, we want to win districts, and we want to make it to states.
All right, Julia, well, thanks for telling us your personal story. Best of luck. Keep up the great work academically.
Thank you so much.
Cameron Litchens is with us from Wyoming Seminary here on the John Mendola Show. She is a senior. And you play defense, so talk about your role out there as a defender at SEM.
So I haven't been playing lacrosse very long, but I try to implement stuff from field hockey to lacrosse defense, and mostly it's just footwork and pushing the offense out so that the angle for the shot is not as high percentage-wise.
You play field hockey, you play lacrosse. Do you have a favorite right now, or you just kind of like being out there with the girls and giving it your best?
Field hockey is a lot of fun. It's very, it's my main sport, but lacrosse is so much fun. I love the girls so much, so I don't know, both of them are great.
Let's talk about some bonding things, getting together with the girls and just, being able to hang out, maybe, somebody's having some food or you're going for a walk or whatever you're doing. Talk about that part of the fun.
So we have only a couple seniors this year. I think there's 6 of us, including the manager. So we're a really tight-knit group, and since some is so small, everybody on the team knows each other. So during the school day, we just say hi to each other in the hallway, talk for a couple minutes. So it's really that during the day and on the field, it translates to a good game, good team bonding.
You got a sister, Tara. She's 20. So what did you learn from her, or what's she up to right now?
She's at Yale University. She plays field hockey there. So I learned a lot of hard work from her. Just persistence. She is a really big role model for me. Just everything she's already accomplished, it's amazing.
International relations, English, literature, all those fun things in classes. Talk about being a student at SEM and what you enjoy there with those particular classes.
I love learning international relations. It's new at SEM actually this term. It's really interesting to me just seeing the different things that are going on, like the current events. And I'm going to be studying international relations in London next year, so it's a good intro. And then for literature, we switch every term what kind of literature you're in. So I'm in Lit of Love Gone Wrong, and it's super interesting, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Kids make decisions on colleges all the time. You picked somewhere in London, so tell us what the choices were and where you're actually going in London.
Okay, so I'm going to the New College of the Humanities in London. My family is quite international. We moved around a lot just through my childhood. So financially it's much better over there. The education is awesome, and I am absolutely in love with London. So for me it's just perfect.
Oh, sounds good to me. Let's talk about your mom and your sister as far as being some role models in your life.
My mom is incredible. She's accomplished so much. Again, with the whole international thing, she's been around the world and back, literally. She's started her own company. She's been in the fashion industry, the interior industry, everything. The work that she's put in, she didn't come from a very great background, so where she's come and where she is today, it's absolutely incredible, and it motivates me to do something better.
Well, she's got a daughter at Yale, and you're going to London to school, so I think she's doing pretty good, right? Well, it sounds awesome, Cameron. Wish you the best for the rest of the field hockey season, but more importantly, it sounds like you got your academic self ready for London, so good luck.
Thank you.